Alright guys, so this is an emergency pod. This has nothing to do with our wrestling. Byron here, aka the Handsomest Man Alive. Happy to be here, and I'm stoked, and I'm a little bit emotionally overwhelmed. As a grown man, this is one of the craziest times because I haven't cried like this in a long time, or had this much exuberance over a sporting event. As you know, or don't know, fuck it. Again, this isn't going to be a wrestling pod. I'm just here to vent and celebrate my Los Angeles Clippers making it to the Western Conference Finals. This is almost midnight on Friday, and I'm still processing how this happened. Like, my Clippers actually made it to the Western Conference Finals in the most un-Clipper way. There's a lot of, this is going to be a quick one because it's late and I'm celebrating drinking with my LA Clippers t-shirt that I got off some cool website. Terrence Mann wore this in the Dallas series and I was in love with it. So a couple things to cover. Where do I start besides the crazy joy that I felt, right? The Clippers did it in the most un-Clipper way. They typically were the ones blowing leads and having the biggest choke jobs in the world. But Utah was up 25 freaking points in the first quarter, and they had their game genie on again, and they wouldn't miss. For those of you who don't know, I'm like one of the biggest Clipper fans ever, and have been for over 30 years now. So it's just wild that the Jazz had a fucking 25-point lead at one point in the third quarter. And at that point, I was like, oh, great, here we go again, Game 7. Because as a Clipper fan, like, how else? But for some reason, I was a little more calm today. Maybe that could be due to the fact that Kawhi Leonard wasn't there, but who knows? It's still really hard to process. We won. We're in the Western Conference Finals. So Terrence Mann, Paul George, and Reggie Jackson have ridiculous second halves, and we scored 81 points in the second fucking half. Again, Clippers, this isn't a normal Clipper thing. Again, we're the ones used to blowing leads and choking. But I think, it kind of turned over a new leaf in a way. It's kind of insane. I'm just seriously still at a loss. I'm still quite unsure on how to deal with it because this never happens. I remember my cousin David, shout out to him, and my brother texting me, and then all my friends giving me shit. Granted, like, even if the Clippers don't win the championship, and I don't think they are because we don't have Kawhi Leonard, it's a crazy place because we've never been here before. People always say celebrate like you've been there before, but we haven't. So I'm gonna enjoy this a little more. The PG narrative is insane from pandemic P to now playoff P. It's kind of wild that shit needs to end now. I love the dude. He's resilient. Had mental issues during the bubble, but rebounded nicely. And mind you, we won this without Kawhi. Like, that's a whole nother thing. Like, Kawhi is probably the best player in Clipper history, and we won it. We got to the promised land without him. Not the promised land, but to a place we've never been, which is the Western Conference Finals. So, who knows? Like, this shit's insane to me. The whole narrative of Patrick Beverley tricked y'all. Yeah, I mean, he's not the best. And I get on his case for being useless at times, but motherfucker showed up today. I mean, you couldn't write a script any better. And this one really goes out to, like, all the Clipper fans out there. The real ones. Not the motherfuckers who are cheering for you when they're hot or when Lob City was popping. I'm talking about the real ones. I'm going to list a couple names. Terry the Hair, Elmore Spencer, Benoit Benjamin, Gary Grant, Eric Piakowski. Who else? Fucking Steve Novak. Jeff McInnes. That's just some of the players we had to deal with in the past, and it's insane. Like, as a real Clipper fan, Terry the Hair. I said him already, but man, it's been a long, crazy time. Like, this win is for the real Clipper fans out there, it's insane, the loyalty. We could have easily jumped on and joined any other team, and there's so many bandwagon Clipper fans. When Lob City was popping, even last year, people jumped on, and then I have a couple friends who love the Clippers. But this is for the true fucking Clipper fans who've sat there and will never leave. We're just in, yeah. Sometimes you just gotta stop and smell the roses, and this is one of those moments. Like, yeah, I mean, not everybody's gonna win championships, and it's okay to root for people who don't. Like, life is like that. There's not everything is always gonna be perfect, and there's gonna be roadblocks, and everything's not gonna go your way. But when it does, and in a case like this, sure, it's not a championship, but sometimes you just gotta celebrate the little wins. You know, like, yeah, I mean, it's insane. We have a shot in the Western Conference Finals. We'll see how that goes, but I think we made a breakthrough in breaking the curse. Steve Ballmer is doing a really good job with the team, and it's official. Ty Lue is the best, by far the best Clipper coach of all time. Yeah, it's crazy. I could not, the whole second half, I was pacing back and forth. I'm so tired, but I'm celebrating now, and had to record this and get this off my chest after all the screaming, yelling, crying, whatever. Yeah, incredible day. To the real fans, to Ralph Lawler, to everybody, like, this one is a big win, and I'm happy for the real Clipper Nation. Not all the bandwagon fans who joined with Lob City. I'm talking about the people who loved us when we were shit, and who stuck with us even through the pandemic. Like, sometimes it's sexy to root for a new team, but yeah, I'm so happy for all the super loyalists. Shout out to my the Clipper Nation Facebook group that I'm a part of. There's some misery in there for, you know, there's a lot of misery being a Clipper fan. It just feels good to have a moment to kind of enjoy. Again, I'm not guaranteeing a championship or anything. It's going to be really tough to win with Kawhi, but if we do, who knows? Like, anything's possible at this point. Since we finally broke that hurdle of getting to a Western Conference Finals. And also, like, Laker fans are going to argue, like, 17 championships and you guys are happy for a Western Conference Final. Who cares, man? Like, as a loyal fan, you're just happy to be a place you haven't been before. And it's all about now, right? We can't keep dwelling on what we haven't done. It's all about what we can do going forward and the breakthroughs we make. So sometimes it's not, you know, it's easy to root for a winner, but, like, there's something to be said for people who are loyal in choosing a team or a person. It doesn't, you know, for people who don't like sports, it's liking a band and their ups and downs, even during their shitty albums, who knows. But yeah, I mean, people who root for winners, like Laker fans, they're spoiled, but doesn't mean the Clippers' success doesn't have to, you know, fuck the Lakers, but it doesn't have to take away from anything the Lakers did. Like, as a fan base and for me personally, this is big time. Like shit. Yeah, I mean, I grew up watching the Clippers being broke as fuck, and that being only tickets we can afford, and I decided to choose my loyalty with them forever, and that shit has never faltered. From the Mark Jackson playoff, seeing them as an 8 seed, making that run, to the great collapse of Lob City when Doc blew a 3-1 lead back then, and then, you know, to the bubble. Like, this is probably the biggest win in Clipper history, surpassing that crazy Memphis Grizzly comeback, or the Chris Paul buzzer beater against the Spurs, or Game 7 against Luka and them boys. This was big, and yeah, I mean, enjoy the little things, people. Like, I can finally breathe a little bit. I think we're gonna lose on Sunday, but who knows what happens after that? We're gonna be a little gassed, but who knows? And I'm just here to celebrate it. Yes, sometimes you just gotta enjoy the little things, and I'm pumped. I may not seem like it because I'm exhausted, but yeah. Thanks for listening, guys. This was a quick little Clippers win episode. Man, it feels good. Fuck yeah. So tune in next week. We'll probably have some more wrestling content, maybe tomorrow. We'll see how that goes. I know all our schedules are getting kind of busy, but I'm just here to celebrate. And shout out to the real Clipper fans, not the bandwagon motherfuckers. This one goes out to you. Cheers to that. And yeah, love you all. And we'll get back with real wrestling programming the next coming weeks. Yeah, what else? That's it. Shout out to Elmore Spencer, Keith Kloss, the real OGs, the Clipper world. Good night.